So here I am in beautiful downtown Nome, Alaska on the day of the Summer Solstice Festival. And what that is that's a celebration of the longest day of the year, or the day of the year with the most daylight. Now, it doesn't actually get dark here at all this time of year. The sun dips below the horizon because we are below the Arctic Circle, but just barely. Apparently they're going to have some type of parade, so that ought to be interesting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of walk around town. I'm on my own today. I have not really visited this place, well, downtown. So we're going to check it out together and see what the sights behold. Some type of emergency going on down there. Maybe we'll check that out too. All right, let's get to it. I guess the parade is already in progress. I thought it started at noon, but it must have started at 11, so we're a little late. Probably have missed it by the looks of it. We'll try not to get hit. Oh, we're not too late. Looks like we're just in time. Hard to believe they have this many emergency vehicles up here. Nome is actually very small. There's only a few thousand people that live up here year round. A lot more in the summer. A lot of tourism. There's miners up here, and of course a lot of bird watchers. They descend on this place in flocks. They're funny to watch. They like me. It's a paddy wagon. Maybe that's the end of the parade. They're having some other things going on down here too, some dances and whatnot, from what I understand. One of the sad things you see here in Nome, and it's kind of unfortunate, and I've experienced this firsthand today, is that most of all the outlying Eskimo communities are dry. They don't have alcohol. It's outlawed. So Nome has alcohol. So they flock to Nome. All the people who are alcoholics or just want to get drunk, they flock to Nome when they get their government checks, and there's where they spend it. Now, if you look behind me, you can see there's people, the natives, who are all very drunk and falling down. And it's just kind of sad, and apparently it's just a fixture here in Nome. You have to expect that. For the most part, they don't bother you, although that one lady behind me has been screaming at me for, well, ever since I got here. So, I just visited a visitor center there. I was talking to the guys in there, and they're very upset that you know, the town council here doesn't try to put a stop to it, because it looks bad for Nome, and it's bad for the people who are, of course, drunk out there. Phone's ringing, gotta go. I think we missed the parade, so let's go ahead and check out the Park Service headquarters here. See what's going on. Just take a quick peek around. That's a really cool cat skull. Scimitar cat. Look how narrow that is. It's pretty cool, huh? Little American lion. Bet you didn't know we had lions. Did ya? Short-faced bear. He weighed up to a ton. So we had a good visit, and we're going to head down to the bank robbery. It's another one of those things that happens here in Nome. Yeah, lots of people on this festival, Summer Solstice Festival.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is the bank robbery reenactment.
Oh, man. I don't want to mess with them.
This is really hokey, but I think it's for the kids mostly.
Haven't seen him.
Where's that low down, no good, dirty dog Wyatt Earp?
Wyatt Earp actually had a saloon here in Nome, Alaska for a short period of time. Yeah, that's pretty hokey, but you get the gist of it. Looks like the kids are having a good time. I think we'll go exploring while the town is deserted. What do you say? You'll notice the buckets for the bucket line dredges all over town. Hundreds of them. Look, there's a robin. Apparently, Nome, Alaska is a bucket list destination for birders. You know, people who like to photograph and look at birds. Apparently, there's a bunch of them up here that you can't really find anywhere else. That's the oldest saloon in Nome, if you cannot read English, since 1900, which was about when Nome was founded. I think they actually showed up here about I think the gold rush started in 1898-99 and was in full bloom by 1900. I read that in one summer, a single summer, 40,000 miners came to Nome to find their, their millions of dollars worth of gold. Of course, all the claims were taken up already by the people who came the summer before, and there was a lot of problems. That's why the military had to come in here and set up a base, and they had armed soldiers to keep order. But then what happened is they discovered that the beaches, the sand on the beaches was loaded with very fine gold. So the miners that didn't have claims, couldn't find work, were able to go down to the beach and just work at anywhere, because there was no, at that time, you can't stake a claim on a beach. So anywhere, there was a stretch of beach here maybe many miles that any miner could go down there and make money just by sifting the sand. That's what saved Nome. The ship you see way out there, that's probably an oil tanker delivering fuel. There's some type of pipe out there they can hook into, and they pump the oil into the big storage tanks here. That's the harbor wall over there that you can see. That's where the gold boats leave from. Big ones you see on TV. You see them going out of there every morning. Not sure what that is. And a giant dish. So this is a beach here that would have been lined with tents back around 1900 to 1910. For maybe 10 miles, it just been tent after tent after tent. Just a sea of white. That was the miners down here camping and working these sands behind me for the gold. They called it the Golden Sands of Nome. Apparently they made pretty good living, or at least enough to get back home again. Made expenses. Something weird going on down there with black water shooting out into the ocean or to the sea. So let's go check that out. I don't have any idea what that is, but it doesn't look good. Yikes. I get hassled for not picking up a beer can in the river. Priorities, man, priorities. There's a bunch of these buckets behind me from the bucket line dredges. And what we're going to do is walk down here to the sands for a minute.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Race.
To what?
Film right here.
Okay. How about on the rocks? Being chased out by a drunk Eskimo. How about here? Am I okay here?
Out of my island.
It's not an island.
Well, Nome, Alaska, get the fuck out.
Nome has a tremendous problem with alcoholism amongst the native Eskimo. So they all flock to Nome when they have money in their pocket, and they get drunk, and they're drunk all the time. They just kind of beg for money, run people off, but they're generally speaking, they're all very pleasant and very nice, except for that one lady there. But you find them everywhere, don't ya? This is obviously where the natives come down here to drink. We just got run off by that one chick. I have to admit that was pretty funny. All the guys were laughing in the background. They're like, don't hassle him, man, don't hassle him. Cops will come and get you. Don't put up with the natives hassling people here. They'll pick them up, put them in jail, and wait till they get off their drunk, and then release them without, charging them. That's where they're sleeping on the beach, because of course they want to spend the government money on booze, not lodging. Everywhere you go here you see abandoned dredges. Apparently there's not near as many outfits up here as there were a few years ago, and the failure rate for these outfits is very, very high. If you watch the other videos in my series, you'll see that there's abandoned equipment all up and down the beach. It's a fortune in scrap metal up here in Nome if you had a way to get it out and back down to someone who recycles, or a scrap yard. This is where Wyatt Earp had his saloon for about a year, I think, here in Nome. I don't suppose this is the original building, but it's the City Hall now. Some more buckets from the bucket line dredge. The sign behind me says is that Wyatt Earp came up here in 1899 to 1901 to mine the miners with a saloon, and he supposedly left Nome with $80,000, which was a fortune in that time. Doesn't say if it's true or not, but it's hard to say. I guess this was also the red light district. Let's read about that. So basically what that sign says is that this was the red light district, and that the police department fined the prostitutes $10 a month, and they used that money to fund the fire department and other city services. They didn't arrest them, they didn't care, they just fined them $10 a month because they were making a ton of money off of the miners. Remember, there are 40,000 miners in this little town right here. It's tiny. Walking by the visitor center again, and that drunk Eskimo chick is over there screaming at me. When I cut the camera out, though, I heard him talking. Some of her friends talked to her, and she hid. So, what a place.